It's 25 minutes past 6 and it's going to be an all-English Europa League final on Wednesday the 21st of May in Bilbao. Manchester United will play Tottenham in the 6th all-English European final ever. Spurs will have taken part in 3 of the 6. They beat Wolves in 1972, then lost to Liverpool in 2019. Elsewhere, Chelsea will take on the Spanish side Real Betis in the Europa Conference League final. Chelsea knocked out Jurgen 5-1 over their two-legged semi-final. So let's focus on the Europa League. We can speak to Manchester United fan Kim Burdett and Spurs podcaster Chris Cowlin. Morning, both.
Morning,
Good
Rick.
morning.
So, Kim, it was looking a little bit shaky in the first half, and then second half, everything was rosy.
Yeah, I think nerves were playing a part big time, really. And obviously we did exactly what we didn't want to do, which was concede a goal in the first half, which gave them a bit of encouragement. And I do think, there was a lot of nerves because even though it was a comfortable scoreline going into the game, we know the second leg, we know how they've been this season. So it wasn't beyond the realms of possibility for them to throw it completely away. But obviously the substitutions last night made a massive difference. And we ended up obviously coming out with a very comfortable scoreline in the end.
Really nice to see Mason Mount getting a couple of goals.
Yeah. It was great. Obviously, he's been through a lot with his injuries and he's not had the best time of it at United. So, both goals absolutely fantastic as well. We're starting to get players back now. Obviously, Ahmad came on again last night as well. And this is obviously a good time to start getting these influential players back in the team that can actually make a difference, particularly attacking-wise, when they come on. So, hopefully, things are looking a bit more positive moving forward.
And Chris, a nice professional job in, tricky circumstances. And everyone knows, Bodø Glimt have had really a lot of success at home. They've got the artificial pitch. Their fans are amazing there. It's quite sort of an intimidating place to go in the Arctic Circle. But just, did the job.
Absolutely, Rick. That's exactly the word I'd use. Professional performance. It was the perfect performance. Spurs got the job done over the 2 legs extremely well, in my opinion, and Postecoglou got it right. And credit should go to him and all of these players. The fans were so happy in the stadium last night. It was really, really good to see. Great scenes. And, we haven't won a European trophy since 84, 41 long years and 17 long years without a major trophy. So let's hope the Spurs can get this job done. But as I say, the fans were awesome. The players and Postecoglou just looked so happy yesterday. And as you said, it wasn't a given that we went into this second leg 3-1 up from the first leg because Bodø Glimt, 70% home rate win record in Europe. So they normally do pretty well at home.
And in terms of both of your sort of managerial positions, I think, Kim, we know Ruben Amorim's going to be in the job next season, and it doesn't really hinge on the result of this final, probably.
No, probably his future, well, at least his short-term future doesn't really hinge on what happens back in Bilbao. But I think what it does mean, it means more, not more than Spurs, but for our building going forward, I think it means a great deal to get into the Champions League. Obviously, it's more cash injection into the club where we know we're struggling money-wise financially at the moment. And obviously it's being able to attract the kind of players that you want at the club to be able to sort of make progress next season. So as amazing it is to be in a final and win a trophy, which is a massive thing, I think long-term future, it's also huge for the club moving forward as well.
And then, Chris, I think it's probably fair to say that the result of the final won't have that much of an influence on Ange Postecoglou's future either, because I don't think he's going to be there next season, is he?
Well, it's an interesting one because, of course, our league position and our league form this season has been really dismal. But in the Europa League, we are a completely different team, a different animal, if you like. But it'd be an interesting situation to see whether Ange Postecoglou puts in the trophy in his second season, as he said so often, always win the trophy in the second season. And, we're on track to do that. And I feel like we've got to be confident going into that final. We've played Manchester United 3 times this season, won every single game. So we need to win a fourth. But, Postecoglou's position at the football club will be an interesting one, whether he keeps his job or not, whether Spurs win the Europa League or not. But we all know, Andrew said many times that the league position isn't good enough. But, if you would have asked any Spurs fan at the start of this season, if you could finish mid-table or 16th or whatever and win a European trophy, I think a lot of people would have taken it.
I also think you have to respect a guy who has just repeatedly said, no, I will win a trophy in my second season. I will win a trophy in my second, which is a big claim. If he goes and does it, you got to say fair play, mate.
Also, Rick, the main thing is, for Spurs finishing 16th or 17th in the Premier League and having that chance now to play Champions League football next season, it would just be a dream come true, and it would make this disaster of a league season a very, very successful one by killing the two birds with one stone by playing Champions League next year, but also putting a much-needed trophy in the cabinet.
And just quickly, there's this sort of debate around whether the winners of the Europa League should go into the Champions League, which I think is a bit it's a bit of a false debate, because I just don't think we were having this conversation before, and it's only now that Tottenham and Manchester United are in the final. In fact, Debbie in London has just texted exactly that. She said, "Is it because it's Tottenham and Manchester United? The rules are the rules. They can only play the teams in the group. Would it have been more representative if Bodø Glimt had got through?" I don't think. So I don't know where you both stand it. I mean, I can probably guess. Kim?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've pretty much illustrated the point perfectly. We haven't been talking about it for years and years and years until now, until it is United and Spurs. And obviously, maybe if it had been still the same final, but United had been 7th and Spurs had been 8th or 6th or whatever, maybe it wouldn't be such a big debate to have. But I think our league positions obviously is impacting the debate as well. But rules are rules, so what can you do?
Yeah, and Chris?
Yeah, the rules are the rules. And, of course, Arsene Wenger come out and said this. It would be him, wouldn't it? I think that Arsenal and anyone connected to that football club need to concentrate on trying to get to a European final rather than keep spouting this nonsense.
Well, I'm glad I gave you the opportunity to get that dig in, Chris. Nice speaking to you both. Cheers.
Thanks so much.
That's Manchester United fan Kim Bodø and Spurs podcaster Chris Cowlin. 6:32.
Yeah, and coming up